You are now listening to the Cheatcoders podcast with Nats and Rat.
Yo, welcome to another episode of the Cheatcoders podcast. This is episode 39. We are so close to 40. We've been in the 30s for like the last 9 weeks, which is about 3 months or so. But this episode, Nats is not here, as you can see, because he's doing his stuff in Austria, not in Australia, more in Austria, the land of the Schwarzeneggers. And we are here with the Sound Down Unda's own leader and host. You can see him in his show. He has his own music out. He's doing his own blog. His name is Tim Bautista. How you been, man?
I'm good, bro. Like I said, I was in the food coma, bro. But
Yeah.
that was a G up. Now I'm like...
That was G up, yeah.
No,
This
I'm
is,
feeling pretty good.
this is
Got
the
the
wrestling
sugar.
G up. This is the wrestling fan in me. Just gonna
It is,
do
man.
the intros for you. And I've seen you do the intros in your show, so I'm like, I can do one for him,
That
So this
actually
is gonna be.
feels, that feels so like heartfelt, bro.
How does it feel being on the other side? Because this is you being a guest rather than host, so it's a different experience.
It's totally a different experience. Exactly like what you said. I'm keen to suss it out. It's different, man. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to expect. That's why I'm going to keep it there.
Yeah.
So that, I don't know, at the end of it all, there's like nothing, there's no disappointments, no highs or no lows. So I'm just going to keep it right in the middle.
Right in the middle. So
Right in the middle, bro.
to the people in the Cheatcoders fandom, which is 10 of them, I think. If they don't know who you are and what you do, please explain your history and what you're doing now.
So, my name is Tim. I first started music. I'm just going to start from the very beginning, but I'm going to condense it. So, I started doing music, making music at the age of like 16, 17 with my friend Philip. And then from there, I was just doing bedroom hops to everybody's studios.
Bedroom hops.
Yeah, bedroom hops to studios.
A music slut.
Yeah.
That's it, eh?
Pretty much. So I was at yours recording Eskies, my room, my friend Philip's room. From there it just stemmed. Then I went to So Good. So Good kind of catapulted my fan base, I guess.
Yeah.
And from there, just been doing live music, and it's opened me to many connections like Christian, you guys. And now I'm recording with Christian.
Is he are you guys making like an EP or something?
Yes. We are.
Is this top secret, confidential type of thing?
It's not top secret, but yeah. This
happening.
is the premiere.
Yeah, this is the premiere. This is the breaking news.
Yes. Yes, Tim releases an EP.
So is it going to be solely produced by Christian, or are you going to...
Everything that I do is produced by Christian. Okay. I kind of refuse to go out and look for other producers because me and Christian have that chemistry already.
Yeah, so you're the Pusha T, he's the Kanye.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Other than that, I'm doing the Sound Down Unda, which started like 2 months ago, man. Yeah. And we're up to like episode 7.
7 in production, but 3 in release.
3 in release, yeah. That's right.
So it's pretty new. It's a baby right now.
Pretty much.
In terms
still
of
a little seedling.
The production. So how did this come about? Like, what was your idea before we met? I mean, in terms of collaborating, how did this project, the Sound Down Under, come about? Because when I first saw the Sound Down Under pop into do you want to like this page? I'm like, who are these guys? I thought there was like some because I looked into it. I was like, it was still in its early stages, a few likes and stuff. I was like, oh, who are these randoms? So I had no idea it was you. And then I saw people like Elo, Christian liking it. So okay, this must be some sort of legit thing. So I liked it. And then out of nowhere, I realized it was you. I was like, oh, this is Tim's stuff. All right, so he's going to venture out from his artist phase, not phase, but more of his musician side, and then branch out to new things. So how did this come about?
For me, it just started because I started studying marketing communications at home while I was doing a full-time job, and I was doing like 70% applying and 30% learning. So I was applying what I was learning, and then a lot of it's marketing. So I just started with a blog, and the blog turned into a website. The website stemmed into Facebook, Instagram, and all that stuff. And then from there, that's when everything just pretty much snowballed to this moment, bro. So it just literally started in my room as a blog, and then here we are, bro.
I think the timing was quite right. it was aligned, as in terms of like you're doing your thing, and then I was just beginning to like build on this network, this idea that I had, and I wanted to bring in different type of shows and podcasts.
You and Nats were already doing.
Yeah, we're doing.
You
were doing like podcasts because this whole network started from the podcast, and then so I think about from 25 onwards, we started to be like, oh, let's make this into a network, get everyone that we know involved or any other creatives involved.
Yeah.
And then that's when I noticed you were doing your blog thing, and then I looked into it and like, oh, this guy has like potential into, turn this into something great. And then I'm like,
can you see me playing with my socks, by the way?
Yeah, definitely. Everyone can see you playing with your socks.
I'm just like playing with my socks.
Just before this interview, before this podcast started, he was like, hey man, how you doing? It's like, oh, don't judge me by my socks, man. Like, don't say that, I wouldn't even notice. And I look at his socks is like a fucking hole. Like,
well, whoops.
But like back to the
sorry.
Yeah, back to the Sound Down Under. Like before we started, like when you started your Sound Down Under thing, I saw the potential, and then I'm like, let's add some visuals to it. Then we started this collaboration where I'll provide the visuals, and then you could be part of the network, and you could pretty much, we could just join forces, like how like a rapper would join forces with a singer and they create this R&B melody. So this is our R&B song
R&B
track,
baby.
our baby. And then
media side of things, hey.
In the media side of things, so what's the Sound Down Under to its core? Like, what is it about?
So I say this at the start of every interview. The Sound Down Under. So I always say, my name is Tim from the Sound Down Under, where we present to you our unique discoveries in the art and entertainment industry in Australia. So that's what the core is, pretty much. I just want to expose and I want to show the world, not just Australia, the world.
Yeah.
That we have talent here, man. Like it's growing every day, and man, like you just gotta jump on the bandwagon now.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know how long it's been going on.
I don't even think there's a bandwagon. You have to create the bandwagon.
Yeah, man.
So people could actually see what's going on, like in terms of not the mainstream music that's happening in Australia, but in terms of the people who are trying to make it in the industry, the up and comers, because like they always don't get as much notice, obviously, because of the mainstream.
That's true.
But it's good to build that platform that you created, so people in the underground independent scene in Australia would have some sort of platform to share that music, because this could potentially be something big, but even if it isn't something big, it's a great stepping stone for like artists to
100%.
get on and provide their practice in interview forms. And most of these people don't do interviews as much as they should.
There's not much press going on in Australia.
Yeah,
either.
definitely. So
like you got your big companies like the radio, and Triple J, and who else is there?
the radio,
Triple
TV.
J, I feel like it's just too far out of reach, and whereas I feel that I'm within reach, I'm going out to these guys rather than them having to reach out to the bigger companies.
And plus, you're taking advantage of the internet.
100%, bro.
YouTube, Facebook. Now you're in podcasts. Like this is the way to go. Everyone's on the internet, pretty much on. It's accessible on your phone. So it's important to actually get these mediums taken advantage of. So
that's one thing that I wanted to talk about.
Here we go.
That's the thing that I was talking about. So with taking advantage, right? The one topic that I wanted to bring up, because I work in telecommunications, so I come across a lot of people that I don't know, that are older, so they were born in their 70s and before. Yeah. And they're always talking about the negative side of technology. And in my mind, because I'm from 90s and up, I'm like, man, like technology is the best. Like, well, like if I wanted to call my mate and see if he wanted to hang, I'll give him a call just to see if he's home first, rather than having a friggin' walk like 20 minutes to his house just to find out he's not there. But like, I reckon technology is so good, and like people just try to bag it out like social media is bad, social media is like it's bad for your mental health and stuff. I reckon it's like what you said, we can take social media, put it in a good light, and put good use to it.
Definitely.
Yeah. Do you feel that way as well? Like on that side of the spectrum, or do you feel like
of this Cheatcoders network is like this network wouldn't have happened, or this podcast wouldn't have happened if technology wasn't as advanced as it is now. Because like how the hell would you be able to make your own your show?
That's true.
Without YouTube or without a video platform on the internet. Well, how would you make your own? Like, the only way to become like someone like a podcaster or a broadcaster in some sense, is you have to make it to the radio, and that's very limited. There's like only like a few stations you can get on.
Exactly.
And if you do make your own station, there's always going to be like rent. You got to pay for the station that you, the studios.
That's so true.
And now with the accessibility of just having a computer and a microphone,
download an app,
camera, you don't even have to get the best equipment.
No.
You can get your voice out there by literally just talking to your phone. Like you can
That's
use
so
that as
true.
a microphone and then upload it into the podcast world, and it still works.
100%, bro.
Like the internet is something that everyone should consider if they were to be an artist or a media personality or something in terms of being a creative or even a businessman or whatever, a
anything,
businesswoman.
bro.
Anything.
I think
the internet
anything.
is your playground right now.
I swear it is, man. Like technology is just so good. I think Eski was saying it before, where he said like in the interview in the Sound Down Under, where the
plug.
He says that like he thinks that the younger kids are smarter than the older generation in a way because they have so much more access to things.
They're exposed by technology
like
straight
politics.
away.
Like he said, like kids are talking about politics and like from politics to everything really, and I kind of agree with that.
Definitely, like even in the early stages of computer, the only way you could educate yourself was because this is the early stage of the internet. You probably have to get Encarta 95 or something like that. Like
what the hell is that?
This guy's young enough not to know, to know about that. They were like encyclopedias that came in CDs.
Encyclopedias.
So they're like in CD-ROMs that had they were like pretty much an encyclopedia. So you pop it on, and that's where you can study off your stuff. Like you type in like I remember back in the day, I was like looking up early hip hop. It's like how did hip hop start? And they had like don't push me because I'm close to the edge. That's the first time I've ever heard it. Like it was on the Encarta 95, which is the year 95. That's what I remember. And that was the early stage. This is before when internet was a thing. So you had a computer, Windows 95 on it, and then the only way you can get information is getting these encyclopedias that came in CDs. But then when the internet blew, it's like, you don't even read an encyclopedia.
It's go on Google.
You just Google it up, and then now the edge of that sword, the other side of that sword is like, how can you trust what information do you see? How can you qualify that as fact and what is false?
That's another.
So there's always going to be a downside to it, but
100%.
if we look into the upside, everything is like available to you, but in your fingertips.
I use it for recipes, bro. Like, I love food, bro. It's like
if I need to figure out how to make I don't know how to cut wood. I'll look it up on YouTube. Because I'm a visual person, so I need someone to physically show me via video how to cut wood.
That's true.
How to cook a steak. All that
how
stuff.
to everything.
How to everything. YouTube is your best friend. That's the best tutorials. Back in the day, you had to have to trust your parents or even
like a lecturer or like a tutor
tutor
or something. Like someone that
word of mouth. Nowadays, word of mouth has grown so big. It's pretty much not word of mouth. It's just text on a screen or it's just a video on a screen. It's just, it's theme right now that we're saying is internet is huge.
I reckon it's the best thing that ever happened to humanity, in my opinion.
And
maybe that's too much of an overstatement. But I reckon it's one of the best things.
It's a pivotal thing. It's a pivotal moment, as in like once the internet blew. Like before, I think the internet started in wars, like as in terms of like ways to communicate or used as radars or something like that. That's my ignorance speaking. But like in terms of like now the way it's grown, it's so important to have something on the internet. Like everyone's asking for a website. Everyone's asking for your email address. Like I don't know. I've been out of this pickup game in ages, so I don't know how people are like if those singles are trying to pick up other people, but
Tinder,
I'm pretty sure it's like
Tinder,
or even like what's your Instagram or what's your Facebook, what's your name. It's like what's your name and then what's your full name, so I can look up on Facebook.
That's true.
So I don't think even numbers is gonna be like. I got a feeling that phones are not gonna be phones. They're gonna be phones to communicate via internet. They'll still be called phones.
Yeah.
No one's gonna call anyone. It's gonna come to a point where calling people via phone numbers are gonna be phased out. Because you can call people on Facebook.
On Facebook, yeah.
You can call people
via data.
On WhatsApp, via data.
True.
Like so everything.
Satellite.
Everything phone related in terms of numbers.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna phase out.
Far out.
Probably not now. Probably like 10 years time. Like
10 years, yeah.
10 years, 10 to 15 years. Phone numbers are gonna phase out because everything's just on the internet.
But I feel like we're missing something as well with like the benefits of the internet. I was trying to think of something. Oh no. The bad side effects of internet. So like
there's heaps, man.
Oh dude, I can name a bunch of them, but I reckon like the one for me is like the whole physical aspect. So like not going out and having to play sports or like not going
This is
out.
Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
that's a way of technology companies trying to use the internet for a good way, you know.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
Right, there's so many bad things. Like I feel like the gaming side of things, like because I can get trapped in that as well. And then when I'm playing,
before the internet, the gaming side of things was trapping you inside the house.
100%. And I was just like, oh man, I'll just be stuck in my house. I don't want to talk to anybody. Like someone would call my phone, I'm like, get out of here, bro. Like I'm just playing a game. Like I wouldn't talk to anyone. I would just like keep myself in a cave. But now, also in saying that, like it's become so good with gaming and the internet because these guys can go online and play against the whole world. So they're still communicating in a sense.
Yeah.
But they're like stuck in a room, so like there's kind of like, I don't know, like a silver lining there.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
It is, bro. Like I don't know.
There's one side to it that's super good.
Yeah.
The other side to it, but that's with everything.
100%.
Like, everything. It's all up to like humanity to think and to be like what's beneficial for me. But then again, there's always temptations like this game's so sick. I'm just gonna keep playing with all day. Fuck it, I don't need a job. People get jobs playing games.
Bro, did you see that 2K game?
Which one?
That 2K game. So 2K signed with the NBA. Now these NBA teams have signed like these.
Each team has their own 2K playing guys.
Yeah, they have like a team of 6, and then like I don't know, the Sacramento Kings bought like a house for these guys.
Yeah.
And they just sit in there, play 2K a whole season versus each other, and they get paid like $35K. And
you reckon games are going to go so advanced that because it's getting monetized now in terms of having their own teams.
Yeah.
But with virtual reality coming in, do you think that they're going to have like so like basketball games where it's happening in real life kind of, but people wearing like virtual reality? But this is not the NBA. NBA will be separate, but this will be like VNBA or something, virtual NBA.
I don't like. I see where you're coming from.
See 10 guys running around in a room playing basketball with no ball.
Is that for like an entertainment factor, or like because if that was the case, like why don't you just go outside and play basketball and just record these guys?
In terms like this is when technology will come in, and then you can have superpowers while you're playing games.
Like,
you know what I mean?
No,
like it'll be like NBA Jam. So it's different than playing in real life. So you have like and then you level up.
True.
You can push someone 20 feet away.
You can be like a fat guy. But in the game you're like full skinny, tall.
Yeah, so
like
it's like more playing with
that's
stuff
true.
that
Sorry. I was thinking like one-sided.
Because that does make sense. It's like you should just play basketball.
Just go out there, bro, and play ball.
But then in branching that out from like just basketball, Call of Duty. Like people love playing Call of Duty, but no one wants to really be shot.
Nah, exactly. That's true.
They could do like that could be the new laser skirmish type of thing.
True.
They have like fucking virtual reality headsets running around. It looks like Vietnam in the early 1990s.
I don't know how that would have to be set in your house, man. Like you'd have to have like a pretty big room or like.
Oh, they're gonna probably have to have like specific places like AMF has their own laser skirmish. There's a specific thing for that.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're gonna have tournaments where they can have money out of it.
Yeah,
and this is when gambling's gonna come in.
Yeah, true. I bet on this guy to win.
I think this virtual reality thing's gonna be a huge gambling business, man.
It's crazy. Have you ever worked with virtual reality in terms of like your camera and stuff?
No, I don't think it's not that advanced yet. It probably is now, but it's not available to the smaller man, as in like anyone can have it. Like nowadays, remember back in the day where cameras were kind of like a hard reach. It's more home videos and stuff, but now advanced cameras everyone can get one now.
That's true. Yeah,
but it hasn't reached that stage yet.
Yeah. So
I reckon probably I'm gonna give about 20 years till virtual reality becomes everyone's thing. Oh, not even, probably 15. It's coming so close.
Yeah, to be accessible to everybody.
Yeah.
I think LG does this thing where it's like a 360 camera and it comes with the phone. Is it LG? I think so. And then you can start recording it and posting it on Facebook and stuff. That's 360.
Yeah.
I think that's already accessible to some people, but nobody wants to buy like an LG.
Yeah.
like really,
they have
like
to change the game, man.
Yeah, I know.
Have to
right?
change the game to stand out.
Yeah, dude, at work, right? Speaking about like virtual reality, there was this guy who came to me and he's like, the internet went down one day because it was like raining and like all this unforeseen circumstances happened. He came to the store, guns blazing, and he was just like going off at me. And I was like, wait, sorry, like, why do you, like, I'm so sorry, I can't help you because of the unforeseen circumstances. Like, how can I help you? He's like, you can't help me. Like, I'm trying to play this virtual reality game. And like, I want my internet now. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, man. Like, it's raining, like, all these things, like, natural is like causing the internet to be like disrupted. And like, to see him like so indulged in his game into another reality, like set him off just like that, just for like a couple hours of the day. And I was just like so shocked, but at the same time, like, I was empathetic.
Yeah.
But I was just like, damn, like, this virtual reality thing is like people's lives.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's like it's a getaway from,
in terms of like, it's
day to day.
Videos consume people no matter what. Like, it's going to be part of them. They probably prefer their game life than their real life. Virtual reality, we're talking about double-edged swords, the good and bad. When virtual reality becomes a thing, like a real thing, we're going to lose probably like a third of the population. Trust. It's going to be Thanos, bro. Thanos is going to come in. It's going to be Sony. Sony's Thanos. He's going to click his fingers. A third of the population is going to be gone.
True.
It's like, where do they go? They're in this another world.
Who do you reckon is going to create it? Who do you reckon
Sony. I reckon Sony's going to be
Sony's going to be like the powerhouse in that.
It's going to be the Apple of this virtual reality thing. Unless Apple finds a way to touch it and make it their thing. Because Apple seems to take over whatever industry they touch. But I think Sony's going to be Thanos. We're going to lose a third of the people to virtual reality.
Did you see the Google artificial intelligence? It was AI, and it was like making a booking for you. So you can go like, hey Google, can you call this place and make a booking?
Man,
for 7 p.m.
This is dangerous stuff, bro.
It's so dangerous. There's a video on YouTube, but so this AI voice is talking to a real person.
Yeah. In
a conversation, and it's the AI voice is telling the person, "I want a table at this time," and it's handling objections as well. So like when it goes, "Oh, can I make a booking for 7 p.m.?" and then the human would be like, "Sorry, we don't have a table for 7 p.m. What about 8 p.m.?" Okay. The AI will process that information, take it in, and then respond back.
Yeah. Okay. I can understand that, because then you could just set particular responses. Yeah. The AI doesn't have its own like emotional personality.
Bro, it does. It does.
But what you're saying is that it's saying like if it doesn't have booking, it'll tell you that it doesn't have a booking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if it says
it's programmed,
if the AI says, "I won't let you, book a place because you're so rude on the phone." That's when emotional like attachments, emotional responses involved.
None of that.
Oh, but if that happens, that's when it starts being super dangerous, man. When AI starts
screaming at you over the phone.
Like, what the heck? It's like, did you hear about? I think it was Facebook, or it was some company. They made an AI, and then I think it started talking with themselves in a different language. Only the two. The two AIs could talk to. So no one could understand what they're saying, so they had to shut it down immediately. I think it was Facebook. Yeah, that's like they found a way to talk to each other in a new language. They created a new language.
Far out.
Yeah, so like,
bro,
it's a dangerous thing. Scary, like, bro. It could be a good thing. Like, everyone could be just paranoid as fuck. But at the end of the day, I'm one of those believers. It's like the end of the world. It's gonna be dinosaurs with a comment. Poof, gone. Extinction. It's gonna be like people, humanity. Yeah. And they create fucking AI and Terminator effect. That's what I believe how the world's gonna end, bro.
That's true. It's just we're just gonna end ourselves through our own
we are too smart. We are way too smart for our own good.
Oh man. What was I gonna say? Along with that AI thing, I lost my train of thought.
With the whole AI thing, like Alexa and all that stuff, and Google Play, whatever they call it. Hey Google.
I forgot. Like Siri and all that.
Yeah, Siri and all that. But when they start responding emotionally, that's when it becomes, a bit weird. Like, I could understand they could program in certain algorithms, processes particular answers. Is like, okay, if they say this and then this happens, I can have to answer that because it's programmed in me. Yeah. But if they start dwelling on like, I can choose whatever answer I want no matter what the circumstances is. Yeah. It's like, imagine that you're saying, "Hey Google, can you play, I don't know, can you play the Avengers on YouTube? Imagine, hey, the Google Play thing saying, no, motherfucker. Imagine that. Imagine that. Nah, man. Fuck off. Yeah, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Watch Batman.
It starts turning off the light. Opens the fridge.
That would be crazy, man. That'd be so freaky, man.
Do you believe, I've heard this in a couple of podcasts, do you believe that AI are already up to that level, but they're planning
something.
a certain day to actually attack?
I don't know if I can believe that yet.
It's like,
I'm gonna see it to believe it type of person.
no, but like, they're so smart. It's like, oh, they won't know a thing. They probably have this on firewall happening. And they're making plans, talking in their own language. And then out of nowhere, I don't know, 2027, June 15th, they were like, we're gonna invade the whole
Death by AI.
Death by AI. It's gonna be fucking
human dies.
Yeah.
Because he was trying to
It's
watch
gonna be
Avengers.
Skynet, bro. Everyone's gonna be fucked up.
I don't have a
The
doubt.
fridge, like you're opening a fridge, the fridge drags you in.
And eats you up.
Because you can pretty much control the fridge. You can pretty much control the lighting.
Everything,
man. Everything's controlled within like the Alexa or whatever.
Yeah.
And then people, if everything's all connected.
Yeah.
And then AI figures out a way to,
Go work around that or something.
Like they can, what this house? It's like they can cause a fire in the oven. And then they could lock the door.
Hard.
And
That's
then
crazy,
you have no way out.
I don't know, man.
Having security could be one of those things where it's a good thing. It'll keep you secured. But if the AI takes over, you're stuck in your house, man.
Oh, dude. That'd be crazy. But...
Back to the Sound Down Under.
No. 10 years ago, right? Oh, no, not even 10 years ago. 20 years ago, before all of this popped up, right? You know how you're, like, kind of foreseeing things now? Were you foreseeing things back then? Like, as to what it is now? So, like, would you ever think that we would have a Siri or an Alexa or AI at this point in time, 20 years ago? When you were, like...
Oh, well, not me personally, because like I was like 20 years ago I was 10. I was probably thinking about Pokemon.
Okay, maybe that's way too far. But like, early teens, like mid-teens, like...
Oh, I wouldn't have thought that. I thought of these things happening, but I wouldn't have thought of
What's the furthest you thought of, like, how far it went? Because in movies back in the days, right, like, you'd have, like, James Bond talking to his watch, or, like...
Yeah.
Like, all these movies that made those things now, back then, that made it look possible. And it is possible?
Everything's just advancing so quickly.
Yeah.
Like, I even back in the day, people are so satisfied with how phones work. It's like, phones, you can call someone that's in another house. That's amazing. Like, and you could talk to them without even going to their house.
It's funny you say that, because I have a lot of oldies come to my work, and they come to my store and they're like, "Oh, my phone's not ringing," and then I'm like, "Okay, just let me have a look." So I look at their phone. You know the orange thing on. You know how it's on silent. I flick it off silent. I'm like, all right, let's just give it a test. So I call the number, and then the phone starts ringing. They look at me. They're like, "You're a wizard." I'm like, well, it's just a little flick of the switch,
A little flick of the switch.
Yeah, man. Flick of the switch now, but yeah, like people still get so amazed. Like,
no matter what, the topic of how fast technology is advancing, no matter what era you're in, it's still going to be a topic. Like in 2050, people are still be like, "Oh, it's amazing how fast technology has advanced."
That's true.
Like, but
it's forever going.
It's going to be forever going as long as technology advances, which it will, no matter what.
No matter what,
people will be so satisfied, not satisfied, be amazed.
Did you ever see that though? Back in like.
Yeah, I was still thinking we're going to have floating cars.
I'm still thinking.
I still believe we do have that, but there's no way to govern it.
Yeah,
like, how can you govern it? Now everything's gonna be airspace.
Airspace, yeah, exactly. Imagine if there was like a crash up there and then like boom, like down.
Yeah, imagine
like
that.
It'll just come falling
There's
down.
There's gonna
here.
be so much accidents happening that could affect whatever's happening up there. It's gonna affect down here.
Exactly.
There's flying cars. There's driving cars. They're gonna have to eliminate driving cars in general.
Yeah,
so
or even like the low level. Pretty much, they have to eliminate that.
Like imagine that, like the future of the world. People, you'll have both flying cars and cars that'll be on the road. Imagine that. It's like that seems like seems like a Final Destination thing happening.
Yeah, I know, right?
Something, it's bound to happen. Like one crash in the air, lands on the ground, crashes on the ground, explosion, extinction, AI takes over.
Terminator.
But
yeah, Remember in Back to the Future, how they had that shoe and the hovering skateboard?
Oh yeah, the skateboard, the hoverboard.
Everyone thought it was gonna happen on the same exact date, but nothing really happened.
Nothing really happened.
Yeah.
The only closest thing we have is that.
It's that little thing.
Yeah, the thing that.
It was close to it. It was close.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah, but that
I forgot what they're called. I forgot what they're called.
The little hover. I don't know. They called it hoverboards, but I forgot what they're.
Yeah, but they had wheels. They had wheels, and they were like electrical, and they're just moving around. Yeah, they even stopped that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know.
It's just different. Like, I think it's dangerous, man. I think it's super dangerous.
True. Well, forget about the flying cars then.
The flying cars, like I could imagine, like I did a course on drones because I had to get a drone license, and they talked about airspace.
You have to get a license?
You get a license if you're gonna fly a drone that's over about 3 kilos, I think, between 2-3 kilos to 7. You have to get a license, and then if you go over 7, you have to get another particular license. It becomes you pretty much have to become a pilot.
So what happens if you don't have a license?
Oh, if you don't have a license and you're flying,
and you get caught,
and
you have to get caught.
You have to get caught, of course,
Yeah.
and like you have to make sure that you don't film yourself like flying the thing, because that's evidence that you're illegally flying.
True.
You're
putting yourself up for like.
Yeah, it's like filming yourself drink driving. It's like
Yeah.
drinking and you're driving, and filming yourself, post it on Instagram. Stupid.
Yeah,
So,
pretty much.
So like. Yeah, I had to study drones
to do a course.
and do a course, and it's pretty much a pilot course. They taught us like air traffic and different symbols,
Wind
how to read a
speed?
map on which particular areas you can fly on and which is restricted area, military
Really?
areas like the Richmond area, because there's a military base there, so that's restricted military air.
Can't.
So you can't fly there at all.
So on the drone,
unless you have to get permission. You have to get particular permissions.
Yeah.
Talk to particular people, fill out forms and stuff. So it's a huge process.
How do you find out? How do you find out where the red line is? Is it on the thing?
There's an app.
Oh, there's an app.
that
Okay,
tells you
okay.
there's like pretty much a map. It's like looking at Google Maps, but has particular areas.
Yeah, like
marked.
crossed off. Yeah.
So back to the point where like it's like there's a lot of rules for the air, man.
That's
like
crazy.
there's so much air out there, but when flying cars do come, I believe it'll happen no matter what.
Yeah.
When they do come into play, they're gonna have to change the rules up a bit.
Yeah.
And then the flight plans will have to be changed. There'll be probably particular airspaces where only planes, and then particular airspaces where it's cars
Only
and
cars.
stuff. And then what happens down here? Well, like, is there gonna be? Because they're not gonna have both.
It's like Futurama.
Yeah, they're not gonna have both driving cars and also flying cars.
I reckon like the low level, I guess, will be like the lower class. And then as you get higher,
and then I reckon I think to make it safe is they're gonna have to make tunnels. To make
tubes kind of thing.
Yeah, so like you're gonna be driving in tunnels if you have a drivable car.
That sounds near impossible.
Yeah,
but
tunnels is possible. There's tunnels. They're building tunnels now in the M4.
That's true. I don't reckon it'll be within our lifetime.
Yeah, no.
I reckon another.
We're probably
500 years.
We're probably gonna be reaching. We're gonna be on a deathbed and on the news. We have flying cars.
First man
to fly a car. I'm like, oh man, I missed it. You probably have like, what do you call it? The amnesia thing, whatever. I forgot what it's called, where you keep forgetting it. And
It is amnesia, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I reckon. I don't know. I just want to see something super amazing in our lifetime. Like telephones is amazing, but like. I don't know. I think as humans, we just want more.
100%.
Amaze us more.
100%.
Like if you go to a show, like a concert, you can't only just stand there and sing. We want fireworks. We want video,
pyrotechnics, and
videos and stuff. And you
That's true.
gotta entertain us. Dance.
That's true. It has to be like that for like a whole hour as well.
Yeah. No, not even like. Well, we want 2 hours now.
We want more.
We want more.
Encore.
Yeah. It's funny. Like it's come to a point that humanity wants more so much that everything becomes shorter. Like everything, songs have become shorter in a sense. Everything's all click.
I want it now.
Even dating, swipe, more.
True,
I want more pictures of people I can swipe.
That's true.
And like friends, or likes. I want more like everything's. We want more so much that everything else is diluted into like these small, short attention span things. So like if we don't like
Everything's
this,
broken
we'll move
down
on to the next,
into
move on
micro
to the next.
segments as well.
Yeah, it comes back to the whole internet thing. So it's so accessible to a point that we want more. It's like, oh, we have the world in our fingertips. I want to see everything. I want more of that. I want more of this. Going out of the days is like, oh, I'll wait till 10 p.m. to watch my music, 10 a.m. to watch video hits, to watch music videos.
Rage.
Now we got the whole catalog on our thing.
That's true. It's like if like you had to listen to like 20 songs just to hear that number one hit. But now it's just like if you want to hear that number one hit, you can go to it any time.
Make your own number
and you
one
can get
hit.
bored of it like that as well.
I don't even think the charts matter. It
No.
probably matters to the artist,
To the artist,
but
yeah,
in
yeah.
terms of like a consumer
Yeah,
and to the audience, they don't give a fuck what's number one.
exactly.
What's
It's whatever's
number one?
good to the person, right?
Like even on radios, they're like, why do they have countdowns? They don't even have countdowns. They probably have like a top 5 or something.
Yeah, it's like top 40 mixed down.
But like, why
of
does
like-
why does it matter? I don't need to know what's number one.
Yeah,
Back in the
exactly.
day, when it's number one, you'll hear it everywhere. It's like, all right, cool,
Yeah.
I love this song. I'll hear it everywhere.
Yeah.
Now, number one is like, no, I could just pick my own number one. I got my own playlist.
Yeah, that's
You know?
it.
Everyone
That's it.
is their own thing now.
Yeah, it's just like food. I reckon music is like food. Like everybody has their own taste.
Yeah.
Some things are acquired.
Yeah.
So like taste is acquired. Same as music.
The good thing about food is like,
I can eat it all day.
you can eat it all day. But in terms of, there's only amount of resources for it. In terms of like music, you can just make your own music. Like everyone have Fruity Loops, put their own thing. Yeah. It's all
You can
food.
just do that.
You have a certain amount of things. Like there's limits to food.
Yeah, that's true.
There's limits to food. You can't create food on the internet.
That's true.
I think food is the only thing that stands very well. It's probably the only thing I can think of right now that stands very practical. That and sports. But maybe that could turn into virtual reality. That's when you could do sports thing
And food.
and food. No, not even food.
You reckon?
You can't create food on the internet. You can't eat.
As a virtual
you can't eat
yeah,
data.
true.
You can't eat data. You can't be like, oh, you get a hard drive.
That's
and then
so
you just,
true.
unless you put something on your neck. But then how can that work?
That's true.
You
It's
can't
like
put
I
a
need
USB
water.
on your neck to eat food, you know? Food's the only thing that will always won't be ruined by the internet.
That's true, eh?
I just realized that now.
Wow.
Yeah. Like,
Mind blowing.
I'm mind blown now. Like, I'm really like, there's nothing else. Like,
Yeah.
what else can it be?
I don't know, man. If anybody knows,
You can
give us a comment
Yeah.
and put it in the cheat
Don't say
codes.
traveling is practical because like you can actually look at videos, stuff, virtual reality stuff or whatever.
That's true. You can like travel the world
You
on
can travel the
virtual
world on your
reality.
thing. You know what?
Yeah.
Austria looks like on your phone.
Exactly.
When you look at your phone, you can type in like I don't know, Iceland, and then you see Iceland.
You can do like a 360 view of like a house these days.
Yeah.
Like for real estate, right?
For real estate,
Yeah.
yeah. So
You can just like walk through the house and be like, oh,
But
no,
food.
That's food, nah.
drinks and
Because it has
food.
to be consumed.
You
It
have
has
to be physically
you have
there.
to taste it, smell it, chew it, feel the texture.
Yeah. I don't think in our lifetime or even the next lifetime or 3 generations.
I don't
down,
think so,
I
yeah,
don't think
true.
they'll be able to use the internet for food.
For food, eh?
Like you can get someone to deliver food.
That's got me thinking now.
Yeah, no.
Let's do it. Let's find a way.
Imagine that. I could make my own company called Kilobytes.
Kilobyte.
Food company, Kilobytes. So I'll sell you data
I'll
that you
sell
can eat. It has the best nutrients. You know,
The most data.
the most data. Like,
Get your most data source.
then again, if you think about it, like in terms of like, if we are able to tap into using data as food, then obesity would be nothing.
Hey,
Zilch.
everybody will look like.
I don't know how. Did I get? Maybe unless you put something in the data that makes people want to work out. I don't even know how this is possible.
I don't even
I
know,
can't
man.
even think in my brain. How
I
can
think
you
that- I
use
think
data
that-
as food?
That's for like the artificial intelligence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's when they're gonna kill us.
That's
they
Data.
don't give a fuck about crops, like,
Nah,
or,
they
like,
wouldn't,
or
no.
fruit or
Nah.
meat.
They probably
They,
burned
they,
that.
they survive off food, man.
Yeah.
So that's when we're gonna be extinct.
Far
Yeah.
out. Man, that's mind blowing. I'm still so like mind blown off that.
Yeah. Yeah, food is something that we need. Yet we won't be. It's the only thing that's not accessible on the internet.
That's crazy. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, no, I think
It's just like
unless we're robots or something. How can you connect?
nah.
It's hard to connect. You can't turn your organs into something that's capable of internet. You know?
Nah. Did you hear about that guy that put like a Opal card into his
Okay. Yeah.
to his wrist?
Yeah.
Completely off that food thing, but like
This is where IDs are going to be on.
yeah, and he just scanned it. And apparently they're trying to make him take it out. I'm not sure, and he's trying to like fight a case against it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like why don't you just let the guy be? Just let him do what he wants to his body. I don't know. I think like Opal was suing him for something.
How so?
For tampering. I'm not sure.
Tampering.
Yeah, don't take my word for it, but it's something along those lines. If you find it.
Yeah. Well, they're always going to find something to govern.
I know, right? Yeah.
They're always going to find some laws to
make
it
money
not
off.
to. You know, it's all about business. When you mess with someone's business,
That's
even though
true.
I can't even tell how's that messing with your business.
I don't know. Apparently, it's like tampering. Apparently,
But it's gonna be the future. That's gonna be the future. We're gonna put stuff in our skin.
that's crazy.
It's gonna be.
Would you ever do that?
Oh, if it comes to a point where I'm gonna have to, I can't be one of. Well, it might either
What if
be
it cured
that.
cancer?
If you cure cancer, I'm always gonna say yes to cure cancer.
Yes.
It's like when someone says, "What if it's life and death?" Okay, yeah, I'll do it if it's life and death.
Fine. Here, put it right here. Right here.
But then again, like, we might be that person, or it might be the old people that we see old people now who are not adapting to technology. It's like, why am I going to do that?
That's
like,
true.
20 years time, we're going to be like, why am
hope
I
I'm-
going to put like an Opal card on my skin
I hope I'm never
or my
that person.
ID? Yeah,
I
you
just-
will. You're going to find something to hate.
Yeah, I know. I'll just be that guy that complains. I hope I'm not though.
I remember the days when we used to have our phones and the apps, and that's all we needed. I remember when we used to
Now
have
you
phone
kids
numbers.
have flying cars.
I remember when I had a phone number that started with 0421. But now you guys are just calling through Facebook. I remember when Facebook used to be MySpace. You're always going to be that
It's always
person.
gonna be that. Yeah, I know. True. Far out.
Like,
It's
I'm
inevitable.
starting to be that person now. Like
It's inevitable.
why do people listen to Lil Yachty and stuff when they could listen to, like, Lupe Fiasco or
That's
fucking,
true.
you know,
Tupac
Tupac
or
or
Biggie,
whatever,
yeah.
you know?
That's true.
See, like,
It's always gonna be like that. Eh?
you're
Far
going to
out.
be that person. no
I hope
matter
I'm
what.
open-minded though. I hope I'm open-minded to the new generation, and I'm gonna be that.
You have to
I
be
wanna
really open-minded.
That. I know. I think
To a
I'm,
point.
I don't want to be a hater.
Yeah, man. It's like you gotta be a fan of Golden State Warriors if you're, you know,
Oh,
you
don't
can't
say
stick
that.
to the Bulls all the time. The
I don't know about-
97 Bulls.
Yeah, true.
You got to stick to the new things. The
That's
new things
true.
right now is the Golden State Warriors, the
Far
new
out,
legacy.
man. They just won today. I didn't even bother watching after game 2. I was just watching box scores after that.
Man, it's ironic that I think this is like LeBron's best season, like in terms
To
of
date.
his performance to date.
They were supposed to be out by the
And
first
then
round.
he gets swept in the finals.
Second time.
Second time swept in the finals.
Yeah, so he
second
got
time.
swept by the
But
Spurs.
that was like ages.
That was like his
ago.
first.
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
his
yeah.
first time in it.
Which is understandable, but this is like different. But you know,
He's
you can do what
seasoned
you
now.
do. You want to make a prediction? Where is he going to be next year?
Oh,
I'm gonna say New York because I'm a fan.
New York Knicks isn't part of it.
I need to say that I'm a New York Knicks fan in case the Knicks somehow blow up and turn into a good team. I have proof that I'm not a bandwagon.
That's true. I think he'll go to
Lakers,
Houston.
Houston seems popular. It's either I think it's a flip up between Houston or Philly.
Excuse me.
Philly or Houston. It seems to be. That's the story. Seems to go
Yeah.
that direction.
Seems to be circulating.
Next minute
around
he's
those.
going to like the Grizzlies.
Whoa! Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Yeah, it'll probably be Houston,
The
Philly,
Denver
Cavs.
Nuggets acquire LeBron James.
They'd have to put up some like hella money for that guy just to come over, bro. What do you reckon?
I reckon.
said-
Yeah,
you said
it's gonna be
Knicks.
Philly. Knicks is, you know, it'll be a dream. Knicks
Yeah.
and what do you call it? LeBron and Porzingis together. Whew.
Yeah. I think LeBron with anybody.
LeBron with the 2017, 2018 Cavs.
Yep.
Jordan Clarkson and LeBron. Woo.
Well, no.
Yeah,
Especially after this
pretty
season. LeBron James and J.R. Smith.
Oh man, J.R. Smith.
Nah,
man.
J.R. Smith had his moments.
He has his
especially
moments,
in the Knicks.
But he has his moments, but for
He had
some
his
reason
golden
this
moments.
season he has so many bad moments or something like
Yeah.
that. It's just,
Poor guy. Can't catch a break,
You
eh?
can't catch a break.
Can't catch a break. Yeah. I don't know, man. They rely on him too much, but hey. Where do you reckon Clay's going?
Play if they he's staying with the Warriors, I think. But I got a feeling something's going on, like something's gonna happen with the
Yeah,
Warriors.
there's gonna have to be a shift in that team because everyone's gonna want a pay rise. It's 4 All-Stars.
Yeah,
So like
I can imagine like Curry going to his
Curry?
Charlotte.
you reckon?
Imagine
Oh,
he's,
like to his hometown?
His hometown. He's like,
Yeah.
I've done this, like I've been doing this for ages and I've been winning all the time.
True.
I'll do the LeBron thing and just try to do something
go
with
home.
hometown. Go home.
Yeah.
Have some fun with hometown.
And if you're winning, just to give that up, like for something else, it's gonna be a big move.
yeah, it's gonna be a big.
Like
move.
if you're winning all the time, like it's gonna take a lot to like
Yeah.
to move.
But then again, as athletes and competitive people, winning could be a thing where I want a different challenge. I want to challenge. I want to.
Except KD.
And then next minute, LeBron goes to the Golden State Warriors.
I'm taking my talents to the Golden State Warriors. Has like a 2-hour special.
The NBA just gets fucked.
But yeah, the rookies are looking good. I like Ben Simmons because he's Aussie.
Yeah.
He looks good. Apparently, they're dubbing him as like the next LeBron already.
Yeah. And he's slaying the dating game too.
Hey.
Tinashe and then Kendall Jenner.
Is it real?
I know, but
or is that just internet again?
I don't care, but like the story now, Ben Simmons is Australian. He's gonna get Kendall Jenner.
True. There was one where it was
One
like
of us.
It was like a trade for Blake Griffin. Tinashe gets
He's
Blake Griffin.
He's slaying, bro. Oh
yeah, I know. And he's only like, what,
He's only
20
his
years old?
first
21?
year.
21?
Yeah, in his first year in the NBA.
Multi-millionaire already. Far out, man.
Fuck,
These guys
man.
just-
What are we doing?
I don't know.
What
We're trying
are
to
we
do something.
doing?
We're trying to do something.
Sound Down Under and Cheatcoders. What are we doing?
We'll get there one day, hopefully.
One day, all this talk that we have,
Yeah.
we're gonna earn something from it.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, we'll see what
He's
happens.
got to keep grinding, brother.
Keep grinding.
Yeah, man.
Well, yeah.
I can't believe that it's been 2 months and we're like at this point. I didn't expect this to happen so fast this year though.
Yeah. Well,
All I
this year's
expected-
been like really productive in terms of what we're trying to do. Like I started the podcast on December, and then we started doing the plans of making a network. I think about 3 months in from December, so about February. So it's still early stages. Like it's only been 4 months.
Yeah.
I just realized we're nearly up to episode 50, and it's only been 6 months
When was the last time we collaborated? I'm trying to think.
in terms of music.
Well, yeah, just in terms of like just collaborating.
I don't know. I think this is the most we've collaborated.
This is the most. 100%.
Because all the stars align. Because like I think in terms of musicians, music is different. But like
music and music,
as in like musician and musician
right.
working on music.
Right.
You can't really do a long-term collaboration unless you form a band and stuff. But in terms of that, there's different roles for it. When it comes to collaborating, you're gonna have to know your roles. As in like, okay, I know I'm the videographer and I could edit the videos and help produce it while you produce it as well, but you also do the hosting and this and that. In terms of, it's like we're making a band, and that's how we get that longevity. So you're kind of like the main lead singer while I'm the drummer and type of thing. So in terms of collaborating, it's good that we collaborated this way, because if we were both trying to be hosts, we won't even last 2 months. We'd probably do a couple of shows and be like, meh.
Yeah, I know. It'll just phase out.
We're just trying to compete for the same role, you know?
Yeah. Someone would have to kind of like defer to some sort of position. Or like,
knowing your roles are really important.
100%.
Like if you know your role and you're happy with your role, like in terms of in retail, there's always going to be a person who's going to be the manager. There's going to be the person who's going to be like second in charge, 3IC, all that stuff. And then the stock guy. So everyone knows their roles. And then if they focus on those roles and make it efficient, it's kind of back to the Golden State Warriors. You all can't be KD.
Yeah.
You all can't be Steph.
All can't get that same salary.
You have to be, sometimes there have to be a Clay. There has to be
a role player.
Sean Livingston.
They call them role players.
Yeah,
bro.
role players.
Yeah,
so
bro.
You can't always be the star player.
Yeah, the superstar player, yeah.
And that's why they work.
Stay in your lane.
Everyone's pretty much staying in their lane. The only people that are kind of competing against each other is Steph and KD.
Yeah.
And that's it.
But even Steph, I think, is like humble enough to know that he's...
Yeah,
he can defer
but he's
to
not
KD.
going to be just a 3-point guy.
No.
He became he's pretty much the mold of the team.
Yeah, he's the face of the team.
He's the face of the team. Yeah. No matter how many...
Because they built him from the ground up. KD just came in out of nowhere. Yeah.
So that goes back to knowing your roles. Like that's how a collaboration should work.
And that's how everything can become so cohesive as well.
Yeah.
And just work like a well-oiled machine. Like I don't know. I feel like there won't be many hiccups along the way.
Yeah, as long as everyone knows what they're doing and they do their best at what they're doing and focus on that.
Yeah.
That's how you could just get a long lifespan in either your band, your show, your whatever. So anything.
Yeah, there has to be some sort of hierarchy.
Yeah, that's important.
And a level of humility of where you're at.
Yeah, you're gonna have to check your ego sometimes. But if you learn to check your ego, you'll be able to work in a collaborative fashion for a long time and get your results.
Yeah. I'm glad none of us have egos.
Nah, man.
Like, in this whole thing.
Next minute, I'll be like, you know what? This episode, why don't I host?
Well, then,
That's when tension starts happening. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
I'll use my camera then.
Yeah, that's it. Like, you know. But,
yeah, I'm glad that there's none of that here.
Not yet.
like I said, like we're both open to ideas, and we always pitch each other ideas, and I'm always open to that, and I always take it on, and then like, you know, we're good with the A/B testing. Like, oh, let's test this out one time, and then we'll test it out another time.
Yeah, that's the good thing about early stages. You know.
Yeah. You
get to have more freedom in terms of what ideas you have and you want to show and see if they work.
Yeah.
A lot of test drives.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
Beta stuff and
pretty much. Yeah, just finding out all the little nooks and crannies and just fixing them along the way.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, people like watching a show that evolves into something else, you know?
Yeah.
Like, people like watching, like, say, Game of Thrones and watch Khaleesi from season 1 and see her evolve from that and then to season 5 or whatever.
Because a good success story is always amazing.
Yeah. If someone's stagnant throughout the whole thing and there's no evolution, like, the story is boring. Yeah.
Do you watch, like, vloggers and stuff?
I don't watch vloggers too much.
Well, I don't watch too many, but one that comes into my mind is Tim Bautista.
Oh yeah. I've watched a few stuff of his when it was back in the YouTube.
Back in the day,
YouTube days.
But you see where he is now, right? Like a
now
good success story. It's always just good, and it's refreshing, and it's good to see someone succeed, like in that light.
Definitely,
100%, and like to see him still growing as well, because I'm still watching him to this day. He still hasn't hit his like ceiling yet.
Yeah.
In his eyes, and he feels like he can still grow. And like in my eyes, from where I am, I'm like, dude, this guy's made it.
Yeah. In terms of like, you know, like
it's crazy. Like these guys can elevate and transcend their careers still.
Yeah, back in the day when you were singing and then you got like 100,000 views on one of your songs, people would be like, this guy's made it.
Yeah, that's true.
It always becomes perspective, but at the end of the day, like someone's vision of success is different to another. And as long as you set yourself a goal, I said this to Nats, is if you set yourself an unachievable goal, you'll keep striving. Because like it's like, I'm gonna be like an astronaut, I'm gonna be the first man on Mars. Okay, cool. Then you're gonna keep working at it, and you're gonna keep improving. You may not reach your goal at the end of the day, but you've actually progressed rather than stay stagnant. It's like, all right, or like you could be like, as an astronaut, I am going to learn how to fly a rocket, or that's probably extreme. Or like a person be like, I'm going to learn how to drive, and then you end up driving. What now? What can you do? It's like, I want to reach my goals.
That's true. You always got to evolve.
You got to like, you got to set yourself something that's unrealistic, or to a point that is near impossible to reach.
Like near impossible to reach, so that you keep working at it. You mean you
keep working at it? It keeps you hungry. Always stay hungry.
I feel like in the way that I see it, it's like set yourself little attainable goals, and then once you reach that goal, don't be content with where you're at the time. So always strive for the next challenge. But also ultimately, like by striving for the next challenge, it'll lead to an unattainable goal. Yeah, like what you said, because
you keep
there's just so many things. There's just so many things to like level up on. Like
and you never know like where the road takes you. You may be like in terms of what you're doing. Like imagine like you're just doing music. You're gonna reach the goal as you're trying to reach this huge goal of 1 million records or something, whatever. And then you'd be like, then you just branch out to something else. Media that could end up to another goal.
Well, a lot of these artists are doing it already, like Jay-Z.
Yeah. So there's always going to be like
everybody's doing it. Chris Brown,
the entrepreneur type of mind frame.
Yeah.
But if you branch out, open your mind to other things, you never know what your lane is, because like your lane that you think of now you never know, it might change.
It'll evolve
in 5 years.
Yeah, because
like I couldn't imagine myself doing podcasts 5 years ago. I'd probably be strictly video. That's what I was thinking. Like I'm gonna be strictly video. I'm not gonna be the type of person to talk on a microphone for an hour. Like I'm not even that type of person in person. And now I'm just here talking to you.
Yeah, I know, right?
About in podcast format. Like who would have known? Like I never thought. True. Now my brain's like, you know, I got this video thing happening, but there's also this opportunity to become work in radio. Yeah. In terms of not even being in front of a broadcaster, but I could work behind the scenes because I want to try and do that. And then I built this whole network thing, and now I have another opportunity for myself to work as a person behind the scenes of a network. So I strictly became open-minded, and now these other goals have been created just because of it.
Yeah.
And
do you feel like by opening these new doors and knocking down these new goals, that every time you step into something, you feel more rejuvenated?
Yeah.
Because I remember like 2 months ago, before we kicked off with the Sound Down Under thing, with that meeting that we had, you know, I was content with my life. I was just like, you know, I was traveling, I was with my missus, and that was it. Like, I had my family, you know, just do the normal 9 to 5, go out party every weekend. And then I wasn't making music for a while. And then when I started, the moment I just flicked the switch, like, I started making music again, met up with you, started making episodes. I just feel more alive than what I was before.
You're on your feet.
Yeah, man. I just feel like
you're light on your feet, and you're just like you come to a point where you want to be productive. Like, if you're just too comfortable and like, all right, I'm happy with just like doing all these other things. Like, I'll just do these 3 things that I love doing. But if you open your mind to another thing, that could open your mind to another thing, and it just keeps branching out. It's like, oh, all these other things that I used to do, like progressively, that I put on hold, is now, you know, progressing because I want to do this sort of thing. And then everything just domino effect into something.
It's crazy. Like, I just feel like alive every time I'm doing something.
You just gotta keep working, man.
And it was tough to get out of that spot, because like, when you get comfortable, you're comfortable, man. That's the whole meaning of the word, right? Like,
everyone has that story, man. Like, I have that story as well. Like, I was too comfortable with my 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
Like, I'm filming like houses every single day.
Yeah.
And I don't need to do it in the weekend. And then I realized that I'm not being as creative as I should be. Like, I believe I could be more creative than this.
You end up being robotic in a sense.
Yeah. When you become stagnant, it's like, shoot this, start again, shoot this.
Sleep,
but now like, I remember I was supposed to film Nats's video for his behind the scenes, because he's going to go to London and stuff. He wants to make a little montage before he leaves, which never happened. But we ended up talking, and I'm like, I want to try and dwell into podcasts, because I've been listening to podcasts, and I want to try and get into that. And then now I'm in this different lane where it's slightly similar to video, but it's a different lane. And now just because of that, I'm now on my feet. I feel rejuvenated. I feel more inspired. And now I want to get back into doing music videos again. I want to get back into doing like video work that's out of out of my 9 to 5, be freelance and do a bit more creative. And now I'm just rejuvenated. Just keep going, see how far I can go.
It was like just doing the things that made you happy before, that you kind of just like shoved away into a little corner. You just pick that box up again, and you're like, it's like looking at an old photo book. Yeah. And you look at that photo book, and you're like, man, we had so many fun times, and you just pick that back up again. Yeah, I'm not saying.
I want to make a disclaimer that I'm not saying that my job, I don't like my job. I do love my job, but it just came back to a point that it's just stagnant.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
there's
even this thing,
there's got to be more.
Like eventually, like probably the Sound Down Under, it could come to a point where it's just stagnant. Like it just becomes repetitive, becomes a routine. Yeah. That's when we have to shake it up a bit, do something else about it to make it rejuvenated.
Well, I'm hoping ultimately to shake things up that we could like start going around Australia. Yeah. Not just Sydney, because if we're gonna do this in Sydney, there's like 100 artists in Sydney, no doubt. But like there's gonna come a point where Sydney's just gonna be, we're gonna be like, what's left? Then we look at the outside of things, and you got Melbourne,
Queensland,
Brisbane,
you got
South Australia, Western Australia.
Maybe Hobart has a hip hop scene. I don't know.
I'm hoping New Zealand as well, bro.
Yeah, then you can just call it.
New Zealand's already got a scene though.
And then you can go to Asian stuff, and then you can go to Asia, and then you can call yourself like the Australasia show, the Sound Down, the bottom half of the hemisphere. You never know, man.
100%.
You could be the Sound Worldwide.
Ooh,
you know, like
that'd be crazy.
That's gonna be your
near
impossible
goal.
Your unattainable goal is the Sound Worldwide.
Yeah.
Which is pretty attainable, I reckon, with the internet. But
100%.
Yeah, like.
But to get across
get
to
across.
those people, it's just
Yeah.
gonna be like, whoa.
You probably have to, if we can't fly there, we'll probably if you want to get to that level, you probably have to do podcasts and Skype, you know what I mean?
Yeah, or they would have to have like some sort of a show or agenda here in Sydney, and we just have to catch them, and we have to be available at that time.
Yeah, like Channel V would catch interviews with, I don't know, say ASAP Rocky. And stuff like that. When they come down on tour, you have to be a part of that press. So,
dude, that just opened another thing. Do you ever get into festivals for filming?
Filming? I filmed probably 1, 2.
Oh man!
But I do have a goal that I want to film concerts.
Yeah.
Like be a part of that scene where you're
scene.
filming concerts. So I get a free concert and I'm just filming it. You know.
That'd be sick.
Two things I like. So.
Sorry, I'm just burping like crazy. That actually got me. But yeah, how good would it be to do some backstage interviews after a festival? Because there'll be a million, not a million, but over 50 artists there in one day, and just catching them after the performance, catching their vibe, see how they feel. That'd be pretty cool, eh?
That'd be cool. We'll talk about this more offline because this is all sound and this is a meeting on the podcast. Me and Nats do it all the time. We just have meetings on podcasts. It just happens to be meetings oh, we should do this, in the future. But
I feel like it's led to that. But sorry.
But but in terms of everything, let's just segue to something else. You went to where did you go today?
To the escape room.
Escape room. I've never been to an escape room.
I forgot what it was called. I think it was Mission something.
Oh, so it's a thing. I thought escape room was what the place was called. Or is it a thing? It's people,
I think that's what it is, but there's names to it.
It's bowling is what it is, but
AMF.
AMF is the brand. So escape room is what it is.
And
then mission is what it's
pretty
brand.
cool, man. I highly encourage you to do it, man. It requires a lot of teamwork, patience.
Teamwork. We've been talking about that too today.
Yeah,
everyone should know their roles in terms of teams.
100%, and everything's aligning. But yeah, it requires teamwork, patience, a little bit of wit, IQ, intelligence.
Just brain function, though.
Yeah, and at times, there were moments where everybody was doing their own thing, and people were getting frustrated.
Yeah, because you need everyone to be on the same page.
Yeah, because you have a time limit.
Okay. What's the time limit throughout the whole thing?
I think we had 80 minutes.
80 minutes.
And we finished it with 15 minutes left to go.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool. It was a level 4 out of 5.
Oh, that's decent.
Yeah, we had 7 people, I think. So me and the missus and her family.
What role were you? Were you very involved, or were you very
at the start,
I had an idea, let's follow that?
At the start, I was involved. So I helped with a couple of clues. But then towards the end, I was just kicking back.
Yeah, it's funny when you do those type of things where they're even in other things such as basketball or other team building things, you notice people's personalities. You notice what role they'll take, in that situation. Someone will have the leadership role, and someone else will want that role too.
The alpha male, the alpha dog.
Someone's going to be trying to be alpha, and there'll be two of them competing
butting
for
heads,
it. And then there'll be always someone who is very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
There'll be always someone who'll try to be who'd be laid back.
Yeah.
And be all right, cool, let's go with that, and just give their input here and there.
Yeah.
And there'll be another person who doesn't care.
Yeah.
There's always that.
Ruins the whole kind of vibe sometimes. Yeah.
And there's the other one who's just there for jokes.
Yeah.
And there's always different roles in terms of the team building things, especially I can imagine if we had a group.
Yeah.
And then we went to escape room.
Oh,
everyone's roles would be
that would be chaos, man.
Yeah.
Because when someone finds a clue, it's oh, I got a clue, and then someone will be give me that clue. It's oh yeah. You start reading out the clue, but there's no credit to the person that found the clue, kind of thing.
Yeah, I always find, because I always have a fascination ever since doing podcasts or listening to podcasts. I've always have a fascination of how people communicate within a group. And what roles they take. I was I'm a very introverted person. I'd like to soak in a sponge in the environment. If I went to a house party, and then you start noticing whose roles what, and then you start analyzing people in their environment, in that type of environment. Do you say that you kind of do that as well? I
would. I do that. You get a feel of the room first, just so you don't step on any eggshells.
Well, it can when it comes to house parties, but maybe in terms of if you're always in the same group all the time, you probably be more comfortable because like you
100%.
know everyone's roles,
100%.
everyone's like chilling and
Joking,
you know
making
how
fun
to
of each
react
other.
to certain people.
Yeah.
But when you come to a point where you're just by like you and your mate,
Yeah.
and then you're
Or
in
when
a
your
room.
missus brings you to another
yeah,
to another
that's a
party,
perfect
you don't know
example. When
anybody.
when your missus brings you to a party that you don't know anyone else.
Yeah.
That's when your mind works and
Yeah.
just try to figure out what is everyone's role
Yeah.
in this whole situation in this group. And then so like, have you ever experienced that?
Yeah,
in terms
100%, of course.
Yeah.
Until I start getting drunk and it's just like,
Yeah,
I'm bad now.
Yeah, you become the drunk guy.
No. That's exaggerated, but yeah, I think like you do. I do have to suss it out, and I do suss out, and I observe everything, and I absorb everything at the same time. So yeah, but in terms of the roles, like my role coming into that, just always be the nice guy, I guess. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
like-
try to be the funny guy?
Or
you just
if I
try to
feel
be-
open, if I feel open enough to crack jokes, because sometimes my jokes could come off as like inconsiderate
You
or
gotta
like
dip your toes
dickheady,
in.
like
Yeah.
because I'm pretty sarcastic sometimes when
Mm.
it comes to my jokes, or like because in my group of friends, shout out to the Dem Nugs,
The Dem Nugs.
Dem Nugget boys.
Dem
um,
Nuggets.
Yeah, shout out to John Agala, man, my boy.
You want to shout
yeah.
out any more people?
Cheatcoders.
Yeah,
Cheatcoders. 2 times.
Cheatcoders. man.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, because in our group we just roast each other like non-stop. It's the same with like
Yeah.
the Round Circle boys as
Yeah.
well. Like it's just non-stop roast, and like no one gets offended, and it's just
Because you know their levels.
yeah, man. It's just
You know
fun.
their sensitivities.
and you can go as far as the moon to like throw the meanest like roast at him.
Yeah.
And
You,
you're like,
you try when it comes to roasting, you try to push them to the edge that
hard, bro.
that you're trying to find their sensitive spot.
Hard.
And then when you do find it, you know they're gonna be like friends the next day. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like it's not a big deal.
It's all good, yeah. But with random people, I can't be that guy. So, but I just always just open to meeting new people sometimes.
It's just like it's a skill to analyze the situation in terms of an established group when you're entering it.
Yeah.
Trying to find that roles like the people in the group, they kind of come to a point where they don't consider roles. They just know how things go.
Yeah, it's like I know this guy. Like
I know this guy. They don't be like, okay, this guy's the alpha male. This guy's this guy's that.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like, nah.
yeah.
It comes to a point where like, we know how the situation works.
yeah, it's like you can even foresee the situation happening. It's like, oh, this guy's gonna do this already,
Yeah.
and then you start joking to another mate. It's like, oh, he's doing that thing again.
Like,
you know what I mean?
You just make a look on one of the other
Yeah.
mates like he's
like, oh, he's doing it
we
again.
were just talking about this like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly, yeah,
But in terms of like a new group, you gotta analyze the situation to the max.
yeah,
You gotta sit there, be a sponge, absorb
yeah.
everything. That's
Yeah.
why people are always like, always be like to me, is like, at first you're a quiet guy, you're quiet, but then after a while you start opening, and then you're pretty funny, you're pretty good, you're good to talk to, and all that stuff. And in my head I'm like, that's how I work.
Yeah.
I gotta be quiet so I could absorb everything, the situation.
That's true.
And then I could just,
Work your way.
blend myself in.
Yeah,
the
because
whole
first
group.
impression is
Yeah.
a good impression, right?
Yeah, you can't be in the first thing you say to someone, you roast them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you be like, they don't understand that.
Yeah,
yet. They
yeah.
don't understand that. They'll be thinking you're a dick. Like,
Yeah.
what's this teasing my haircut?
I always try to start with a compliment, like "nice to meet you," "nice jacket," or like you
Yeah.
know, like it kind of opens up the dialogue a bit. And
You
the
have to
context of things.
you have to find common ground.
Yeah, just even compliments is always a good thing. That's what I've learned as well. In terms of like where I work. So that's a good thing. Especially with my girlfriend meeting my friends' girlfriends.
That's a whole different situation.
Like they're always nice to each other when they meet each other. Like there's no, because with guys it's different, right? You gotta, I don't know. There's like the alpha
Yeah.
and the beta type.
I think that happens with girls too. I can't really speak for them, but
True,
I think
yeah,
that
yeah.
happens with everyone, every
True,
group.
yeah.
In terms of groups,
Yeah.
mixed groups, female groups, male groups, there's
Yeah.
always someone who's trying
True.
to be leader.
From what I've experienced though, like everyone's always been like responsive and like happy and complimentary and like nice to each other.
Yeah.
In terms of like introducing my girlfriend to new social groups, I guess.
Yeah, you brought up a good topic. Being friends with your girlfriend's boyfriends. I mean, your girlfriend's friends' boyfriends.
Girlfriends, friends, boyfriend.
You know, like your girl will.
Oh,
your girl has a
yeah,
group of girls.
Yeah.
And they have the third parties.
Yeah.
We're gonna call them the third parties. That's funny to me.
That's a tough one, eh?
Like, oh, he likes basketball too. Why don't you talk about basketball?
I know, right?
Who do you like, Cavs? I was like, who do you like, the Warriors?
Oh, hey, babe.
So, yeah,
How's your night going?
it's funny because, like, it happens all the time. Like, you're all stuck in a room, and it's all the third party.
That's actually so funny, bro. That's so true.
Yeah. So, like, how do you? I don't know. I don't think you can really explain it. It's more so like what the situation is.
It is, yeah. You gotta suss it out.
I just find it funny, like everyone.
100%.
Being a third party, dealing with
100%.
trying to make friends with other third parties.
Yeah.
It's a tough gig, man.
It's a tough gig for some and an easy one for some as well, because some people are comfortable in their skin and they're not afraid to kind of like just let it all out. And be judged, I guess, within that first impression.
And at the same time, because of that, they're so out there, they can be judged easily.
They can be judged, exactly. Yeah.
He's like, oh, who's this guy? Who the hell did he think he is?
I feel like the people that are out there like don't really care.
They don't.
That are out there that don't care. They know themselves.
Skin.
But like at the same time, like between me and you, like I feel like we also know ourselves and we know our limitations, so that we play to our limitations and in our like
Like I'm great. Well, as in terms of like I can make friends with people, and
100%.
then they could be
open.
like and at the end of the day, I'm really nice. I could make good conversation with them, but I won't consider them like a close friend. I won't be like they could be acquaintance and stuff, but like it takes a while for people to break that threshold where they could be a close friend and be in my circle.
100%. Especially like growing up with people like that since like freaking day like kindy.
Yeah, man, you can't build that, man.
100%. Are you still friends with anybody that's from kindy?
Not from kindy. I can't remember the longest friend I've had that I still have a friendship with now. It's probably Charles. He came to high school in year 10.
Oh no way.
So so it's a different way to think about it for me.
Yeah.
It's like I was the type of person to just go to different groups and whatever.
Yeah.
And then after high school, it's just like I found a core group. We all like music. We all do this, and now we branch off to different things.
Yeah.
And now we're just that core group that talk about music and just talk shit now. So
I've known one of my best mates since kindy. Still to this day, man. There was a point of our life where we were young, bro, and he lives like literally. You go out of my street, and his house is there.
Oh, you're one of those friends, eh?
Bro, we've known each other since kindy, and like there was a point where we didn't see each other for like 3-4 years. Never spoke. Not out of bad intent or anything bad happening.
It just happens to be that way.
It just happened, right? Like life hit us. And then after 3 years, we just linked up again, and then we just picked it up where we left it, kind of thing. And it's like they're
the good friends, man.
Yeah, it's like why did we not talk to each other? And you're just like up the road.
Yeah.
And then
it's one of those things like you don't have to worry about like, oh, we haven't talked to a while. How do they think of our friendship? Are we able to be still close? And at the same time, it's just like. Things happen, life happens. Yeah. You got to go this direction, and then you're gonna go to work. You're gonna have a core friendship, like friend circle there. Yeah. And then you're gonna have. I'm gonna play basketball. I'm gonna have a core friendship there, but it happens, man. Yeah. There's only a couple hours in the day.
That's true.
You really can't.
That's true.
Really can't always rely on one friend to be always there. So
that's true.
Having that connection always, no matter how many days that's gone by without them, as long as that connection stays, then they're friends for life, man. There
was one time I was walking from Root Hill Station to home, so it's like a 10-15 minute walk. He was driving, like one of my best mates, Fee, he was driving, picks me up, and this is the time where we weren't talking. So like he drove past me, he stopped, pulled up, and he's like, hey, get in the car. I'm like, I was a bit hesitant for some, for some unknown reason. I was like, oh, are you sure, bro? And he's like, yeah, get in the car. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, yeah, like just a bit hesitant. So I get in the car. It was silent for a bit. And I was like,
no, not even how you been, man? It's been a long time.
No, I'm like, oh, thanks, bro. Like, just being thankful. And then silent for a bit. And then I was just like, oh, so you're on your greens, bro.
Like,
Like, what the heck?
should have been like, are you sure? Does the law say that you can have a passenger?
Bro, we look back at that conversation, we're like, bro, that was like so dead.
Yeah.
It was so dull, but it's
Oh,
like,
man.
I can't believe, we just laugh at it now. Like,
Yeah.
looking back at it, we're like, far out.
You're just rusty in conversation.
Just so rusty, man, because we didn't see each other for so long. And I can't
Yeah.
believe that one of the first things I said was, oh, so you're on your greens now.
You're on your greens? Oh, how long you been on your greens?
I know.
It's like you're talking to an Uber driver.
Oh, dude.
How's your night been?
It was terrible and hilarious to look back at the same time. But yeah, like we've kept that friendship for so long, man, and it's good, bro. And I feel like it's just, I don't think nothing could ever break it, because that bond that we have, it's like that. I don't know. It's just like a bond, bro. It's just unbreakable, bro.
Yeah, man. This whole like friendship is the whole key to life type of thing. As in, like, it's a strong energy.
Yeah.
You just bounce
Brotherhood,
energy.
bro.
Brotherhood,
Yeah.
sisterhood, all the type of hoods.
You never had brothers, eh?
I've never had brothers,
Yeah.
so I had to rely on friends to be my brothers.
Yeah.
So having that brotherhood and sisterhood, that connection, they're the ones that never break. Like,
100%.
you can see all these groups. You can notice what groups are happening and everything, and you notice that they have this bond. No matter what, it just wouldn't break.
Yeah, it's just really tight.
You see it on the movies all the time.
That's
like,
true.
Like all of his movies about brotherhood.
Brotherhood,
and,
yeah.
like,
Even Entourage.
even Entourage.
Yeah, that's all about brotherhood, man.
Yeah,
just
man.
being there for the boys. Like, one of the boys gets successful,
and everyone
brings
just
brings all the boys up.
That's it.
Live with the guy that's successful, and then make them successful at the end. That's what I loved about Entourage. Like, despite
Yeah.
all of the other stuff in between, like all the sex and drugs and the partying and all that stuff that happened in the,
They're the ones that drive.
I
that
know.
drives the thing.
that was like the sex appeal of the show. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, the whole thing that I got from it was just like, just if we starve together, we eat together. Kind
Yeah,
of
man.
thing.
Bromance is one of those romances that just don't die, man.
100%.
Yeah.
Even after like a punch on, I reckon like after
Yeah,
after
yeah,
a week,
it's
it's like,
like-
hey, bro, like,
Remember that time we punched on?
Yeah, I know. It's like, well, just put on the gloves next time, yeah.
Punched me in the jaw. Fucked it for weeks.
Yeah, man. I feel like that with guys, like, it's unbreakable.
Yeah.
Because you can be loyal to each other unless like someone like just fucking cheats
Oh,
on-
like, there's always gonna be something that breaks the friendship. There's always gonna be something.
unless
Yeah, but then that's rare. That's a rarity.
yeah.
But like, yeah, man. So I think we'll just leave it at that. That's been a long conversation about everything.
I don't even know how long we've.
I don't know how long we've gone.
Do you reckon? Wait. Before we cap it off, do you reckon you can recap what we talked about?
Oh
Before
yeah, definitely. We started
So
off
it's
talking about Sound Down Under. We talked about AI. We talked about the future a bit, like flying cars.
All right.
We talked about a lot of bit of AI, and then we ended up talking about team building, knowing your roles, sports. We had a little NBA finals talk. We had that even branched off to teams.
We're gonna look back at this and then we're gonna cross check.
Yeah, everyone has to cross check this. So, and then we also had teams, and we talked about roles in friendship, in groups, and sussing out people.
Yeah.
And then we talked about
Friendships, right?
Yeah. We talked about Sound Down Under a bit more. We just have to throw it in there. And then we ended up on friendships, the bromance.
Yeah.
We talked about quite a few things.
I think we talk about collaborating as well.
Collaboration. That comes in with teamwork, yeah. And it's Sound Down Under.
We're going to cross-check that.
You'll cross-check that.
Thanks
We
for having
probably
me,
won't. No
Thanks for
worries,
having me,
man.
Butt, man.
No worries, man. So that is it for our episode today. And where can they find you? Where can they find the Sound Down Under?
Find the Sound Down Under on Facebook, the Sound Down Under, Instagram, the Sound Down Under. Find my music on Spotify. Ready for Love is out there. 20 Reasons is out there. Raph actually shot the 20 Reasons video, which was like so long ago.
We spent a year on that video, bro.
I know. Find me on SoundCloud, Timber. Facebook, Timber Music, or I Am Timber. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, timstagram.wave.
What does that mean?
Waveform.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was just wondering, like, I thought that was it, but I thought there was some more meaning to it.
Well, music, right?
Music, yeah. I'm not trying to downgrade it. I was just asking. Okay.
And Twitter, Tim Bautista. So yeah. Thanks,
Sweet,
man.
and you can find the Cheatcoders in every format: Facebook, Instagram, Mixcloud is our old
YouTube.
stuff. YouTube, Cheatcoders Network, everywhere.
You say
And-
iTunes?
Yeah, iTunes, Apple Podcasts are one and the same thing. So you can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Android Podcasts, and Stitcher. And that is it. Take care, everyone.
Cheatcoders.